Welcome back to the workshop. Today we're going to finish up the episode of the manual transmission swap for the 840 Ci. We're pretty much done actually. All we need to do is bring it to the dyno and see how much horsepower we've picked up, if any. But there's one more thing I want to do before we take it to the dyno shop. So with that, let's get started. And it's locked. I don't know why. Okay, this is what we're going to make the exhaust out of for the 840. We've got a couple vibrant pieces, MagnaFlow pieces. I think this is Black Widow. But these are the components we're going to make from the system. They're all 2.5 inch. First thing, let's start with the mufflers. These are vibrant, flat back. Oh God, these things are heavy. But essentially, they are the vibrant mufflers with the tips that are a little bit lower from the center, so you can actually push the body of the muffler a little higher up. Really nice piece. Super heavy, well built piece. So anyway, what I was trying to do with this tip, or these tips rather, is to emulate what is on here already. These are kind of like a rolled tip, but these are more of just a straight full edge. So I'm going to try to go with the look, but with a little bit different. So going with these mufflers, again 2.5 inch vibrant. We're also going to go with vibrant resonators. These are actually really nice pieces as well. I'll put the part numbers and descriptions in the comments of the video. But these are the resonators I'm going to use. The bottle style, straight through, really nice as well. Also going to replace the catalytic converters. These aren't too old, but they're old enough to be replaced. These are the ones that MagnaFlow recommended, which are the heavy metal ones. A little more expensive. I could have gone a little bit cheaper, but these are the ones I recommended, so I'll go with these. I don't want any check engine lights or anything like that, so replacing the cats with good MagnaFlow pieces. Also got an X pipe, 2.5 inch. Like I said, I think this is like Black Widow or something. Really nice piece as well. The welds on this are really nice. Going to use that in the center. Also picked up a couple flex couplings from Vibrant as well. Just to keep vibrations and flexing down. I want to put these kind of near the header. You know, that's where the heat is, that's where the expansion is, so to keep flex down and keep fatigue and cracks from forming in the pipe. I'm going to put a couple of these in. Got a couple of V-band clamps, 4 of them. Don't know if I'll use all 4 of these, but I got 4, hopefully for 2 up front, maybe 2 in the back to take out the mufflers. And also a couple bungs for the O2 sensors. I've got 4 O2 sensors in here. So these are the pieces I'm going to use. Also got a full stainless 409 stainless from Summit, like an exhaust kit. This is also 2.5 inches as well. Bunch of bends, bunch of straight pipe. We'll use that to kind of fabricate the rest of the system on the 840 Ci. So this is what we're going to use. Let's get started. See what we can do. We don't really have a plan for it. We'll just kind of lay it out and see how it goes. Alright, just a quick look underneath the car with the stock exhaust. Obviously you'll see the mufflers back here. This is the center muffler, the resonator section. It does come apart here, but I've tried it before, it's almost welded together. These are the 2 stock catalytic converters, and the collector essentially for the headers. There's no real connection between the 2 sides of the header here all the way to here. So what I'm planning to do is actually cut it about here and put a V-band clamp here, and then essentially copy everything from here on out, but with different parts. You know, kind of keep the same layout with the resonators here and try to get the mufflers tucked in as high as I can. That's essentially what it looks like underneath. Got the 2 O2 sensors here and O2 sensors here up front as well. That's really about it. I think the toughest part is really going to figure out where I'm going to put this initial V-band clamp here, and obviously how to hold the mufflers, because if you guys have never seen the way the mufflers are held in stock BMW of this era, it's essentially a clamp on either side, clamping 2 beads on either side of the mufflers that hold it up. So obviously the new mufflers don't have that, so I'm going to have to think of something, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, that's a look underneath of the stock exhaust. Okay, the exhaust is done. Came out really good. It sounds great. just a couple things I've done. I use the standard clamps that essentially hold the stock mufflers on. There's these two clamps, if you will. I just took those two clamps and welded them to the muffler itself, and now I can use the standard muffler hangers up top in the isolators. Just try to use as much stock equipment as I could. Let's see, I put V-band clamps here and here so I can actually remove the mufflers if I ever needed to for servicing or whatnot. Resonators, O2 bongs for the rear O2 sensors. I actually modified the standard clamp, if you will, for the middle section, the exhaust hanger, to use the stock exhaust hangers, again, to use as much as I could of the stock exhaust system. I modified these a little bit. I went ahead and cut this here and here and up top as well to kind of modify it a bit so it'll fit this 2.5-inch pipe. Cats, front O2 bungs for the O2 sensors, flex pipes here, and B-band clamps for the lower half of the stock exhaust manifold, which I kind of cut a little early. So that's it. Came out great, sounds great. So with that, I'll put it on the ground. I'll let you hear what it sounds like. Alright, back here at Speed Tech Performance here in Fort Worth. Got the E31 here. Gonna take it back on the dyno, put it back on the kind of follow-up dyno session to see if it picked up any horsepower. Let's see. See what that first pull sounded like or looked like. $264, $295. All right, last pull here. The first one was 261, 264. Second was 267. Now we're about to do the third run. See what it sounds like. Man, that sounds good. Sounds really good. Oh, it's exactly the same. 267, 298. All right, we're obviously back at the shop. Let's go ahead and look at the dyno sheets before we end the video. Original baseline, as a reminder, 252 horsepower, 285 torque at the wheels. And the subsequent dyno pull, 271 and 303. 271 horsepower, 303 foot-pounds of torque. That was with the standard correction factor, which is what the baseline had as well. It had the correction factor, that's the standard dynojet correction factor. So I actually had them apply it to the secondary pull, and I got 271 horsepower, 303 torque. So if you say 271, assuming a 15% drive line divided by 0.85, it's about 319 horsepower, and 303 divided by 0.85, 356 foot-pounds of torque at the engine, which isn't bad, which is actually a lot better than what BMW rated these for originally back in the 90s. So while I only picked up 20 foot-pounds and 20 horsepower by doing the manual swap, DME upgrade, exhaust, which isn't really that much. However, I had a lot of fun. I did something that I challenged myself with. I learned a lot doing it, so I'm happy with the results. Although doing all that work, I would expect a little more, but it is what it is. I hope you learned something as well. Until next time, meet you back at the shop.
Oh.